Hi there. My energy's a little bit low today, but I have a journal for you. It's part two of that four-parter I started the other day. So it's from 8/15/2010, second one of that day, Mayan day 3, Alligator. A trek above all of 3D, Light and Darkness, part two. In my last journal, I began pondering, or rather sharing with you my pondering, on how even the dark ones, the so-called fallen ones, are of light. Now that seems a crazy proposition to mind. So, right up front, let's just all enter the heart, leave mind behind there to think and say what it will. No need to pay any attention to it. So, come on in with me. Let's have some fun exploring in heart. How can the dark ones be also light ones, you say? Well, that's a reasonable question for mind. Let's stay anchored and centered in heart. Let's look back a bit at what happened, what may have happened, and let's see. Before I mentioned how when light, or even before light was, when Prime Creator, which I see as a principle more than any sort of being, when Prime Creator created this cosmos, light was used. Light may have been the very first thing to make an appearance out of the undifferentiated suchness, out into manifestation. Let there be light. And there was light. Now, this light wasn't the sun's light, nor did it have anything on which to shine and radiate. Light was the allness that was, just light, only that. This light, as a child, as creature, as creation of Prime Creator, took great delight in its existence. This light was, after all, the child of love, the offspring of that. Only once there was light could other things be seen. Do you realize that? And in order for other things to be seen, there had to be darkness as well. There is no material creation without that. Come to acceptance of this in heart. Come to the seeing of that. With only bright light, nothing at all can be seen. To have a material existence of any kind, this requires the mixture of the light and the dark. Come to see this. Make no value judgments upon it. That would be mind entering in. It is just what it is, you know. Just come and see it like that. Look around that room there where your body sits. See how the darkness is there. Does not everything cast a shadow? To be visible, it has to do that, at least in this level of density here. That won't necessarily carry on into higher dimensions, faster frequencies, more one with the light. For this may be enough for some. Just the seeing of how the darkness is not only interwoven into the matrix of life, but how it is absolutely necessary and vital. This has been to some a real revelation. The mind wants to judge things, right and wrong, good and bad, and the like. This takes a huge step up out of that. Mind will still intrude. Mind has been thoroughly woven into our existence, into our awareness, but that is the benefit of your own journaling. You can preserve for yourself those understandings, those sensings, those feelings that arose for you here, Then later, when back in the mind's grasp, just the reading of the journal can return you to light. It's the energy of the experience, and I hate to use that word as it isn't right, but the essence of where you were is retained. It still exists. The words are your crumb trail, your string trail back there, back here. You'll never recreate the exact same experience you had. If you find yourself doing that or longing for that, just stop and realize that's just mind. That isn't real at all. Every moment is newly born. Each one is divine. None are better than the other ones. Don't go for repeats. That's how Muji says this, and it's true, or at least accurate. If you do that, you're entering into or being led by your mind. So, on this journey, there are certain things that will empower you and other ones that will disempower you. We can look at it that way. To say the mantra for mind will empower you. It will help you step back, claim your inner identity, and disidentify from the grip of the mind. To absolutely know, or the closest approximation you have, that mind cannot enter here, now that is tremendously empowering. Until you have this knowledge for your own, or rather, until you have accepted this as the way it is, you will find yourself struggling with all sorts of things. You've left the door open for mind to wiggle in. And that's fine. None compels, after all. We're just discussing what empowers and what doesn't. The choice is ever and always your own. You see, mind thinks it's this big, huge, Herculean task that must be undertaken in order to get out from under all the programming, all the manipulation, and all the control mechanisms that have been put on and into the consciousness. Mind is often overwhelmed by the prospect, right? All the GMO in the food, chemtrails, pollution in the air, poisons and chemicals, even viruses now in the water, ... All of that. Well, let's take a quick look at that. See this? That is identification with the body. That is from thinking the body is you, is who you are in reality. Do you see how this is so? Yes, the body may be subject to all of that.